Hello and welcome all of you, and you're watching K Commerce Academy with me Kunal Singhal. So in the chapter of business environment, today we will be studying the dimensions of business environment. In this chapter, mainly what topics are there, meaning of business environment we have already studied. After that, the characteristics and the importance of business environment we had studied. Today we will be starting with the dimensions of business environment. There are in all 5 dimensions of business environment, and we have to study one by one each of them in successive videos. Today I am just teaching you all this content from the book of MBD, so a great thanks and regard to MBD group and RK Mahajan sir. Before starting that, let me tell you, in the board examination the approx weightage of this chapter is of 5 marks. एग्जामिनेशन में आपको इस चैप्टर में से अप्रॉक्सीमेटली 5 मार्क्स के क्वेश्चन मिल सकते हैं. सो बिफोर स्टार्टिंग दैट, लेट मी टेल यू, देयर आर सर्टेन कंपोनेंट्स ऑफ बिजनेस एनवायरनमेंट. हमने पहले ही पढ़ा था, देयर आर सर्टेन इंटरनल फैक्टर्स विच अफेक्ट द बिजनेस एनवायरनमेंट एंड देयर आर सर्टेन एक्सटर्नल फैक्टर्स विच इन्फ्लुएंस द बिजनेस एनवायरनमेंट. And business environment is the totality of all the external factors, not the internal but all the external factors. The external factors can be further classified into two, that is operating environment and the general environment. Word operating environment is also known as specific environment or specific factors or specific forces. The specific forces means the forces which will directly influence a particular business only, but the general environment or the general forces means the forces which will influence all the business enterprises simultaneously at a same time. So today we'll be studying the general environment or the general forces, general factors. These general factors can be further classified into 5, that is economic environment, political environment, social environment, legal environment and political environment. 5 dimensions. These are also known as the dimensions of business environment. You can see a pie diagram here. Economic environment, social environment, technological environment, political environment and legal environment. These are the 5 dimensions of business environment under the general factors. General factors means the factors which influence the business overall and all the business enterprises. So let us see what do we mean by economic environment. In today's video we will be just discussing economic environment, and the remaining 4 dimensions we will be discussing in our successive videos. So let us start with the economic environment. What do you understand by economic? We all know that economic means certain things which are related to money, monetary, money, that is economic. So you may have studied a term in your economics, monetary policy. Monetary policy are the policies framed by the central bank of the country concerning to or regulating the money supply in the country. For example, deciding the interest rates, deciding the repo rate, deciding the CRR, SLR. These rates are decided by the central bank of the country, considering the money supply and controlling the money supply, and this is known as the monetary policy or the economic decisions of the country. So let us see what is given here for the economic environment. Economic environment has a very strong influence over the policies of the organizations. It represents the type of economy and its conditions. Therefore, any change in it has far-reaching effect on the productivity and other aspects of the organization. The conditions of economic environment of India on the eve of independence was something different, and now it has changed drastically. So let us understand it with a simple example. Suppose जो रिजर्व बैंक ऑफ इंडिया है वो इंटरेस्ट रेट्स को कम कर देता है. इंटरेस्ट रेट को कम कर देता है तो व्हाट विल बी द इफेक्ट ओवर द इकॉनमी एंड द बिजनेसेस ऑफ दिस. द इफेक्ट ऑफ रिडक्शन इन इंटरेस्ट रेट विल बी रिडक्शन इन सेविंग्स, इंक्रीज इन डिमांड एंड इंक्रीज इन प्रोडक्शन. लेट अस अंडरस्टैंड हाउ. अगर इंटरेस्ट रेट कम होगी तो जो कंज्यूमर है he will save less and expand more. When there will be a less interest rates, the consumer will save less and consume more. With the high consumption, he will demand more. With the high demand, the producer will produce more. On the same side, with the low interest rates, it will be easy for the producer to borrow money from the bank and to invest it in the business for the further प्रोडक्शन प्रोसेस. सो दोनों ही सिचुएशंस पॉजिटिव रहती हैं कि जहाँ पे इंटरेस्ट रेट्स कम होंगी तो बिज़नेस ग्रो करेगा. क्यों? क्योंकि हाई डिमांड होगी और बिजनेसमैन इजीली बोरो कर सकेगा. सो दिस इज़ वन एग्जांपल ऑफ द इकोनॉमिक डिसीजन हाउ द इकोनॉमिक एनवायरनमेंट इन्फ्लुएंस द बिजनेसेस. देयर आर लॉट ऑफ अदर एग्जांपल्स ऑल्सो. लेट अस सी व्हाट आर द फ्यू कंपोनेंट्स of economic environment. These components actually helps you in determining the answer for the case study based questions. So what is the role of private and public sector is one of the component, and the examples of economic environment is also given to us here. So let us start with the components first and after that the examples. So components of economic environment, we are having a role of private and public sector, the market economy or the socialist economy. After that, the rates of growth of GNP, that is gross national product, and per capita income, inflation rate, etc. These are also the components or the determinants of economic environment. Then consumer income, personal disposable income, rates of savings and investments, volume of exports and imports, balance of payments, stock exchange indices, expansion of transportation and communication facilities, money supply in the economy, and international debt. All these are the components, all these are the determinants of economic environment and will make a drastic effect over the business decisions, business policies. तो ये सारे points आप as a keyword key sentences भी अपने mind में याद रख सकते हैं to identify the economic environment, and you can get the direct question also to mention the components of economic environment. Let us see few of the examples of economic environment. We have attractive schemes for depositing and lending money by the banks, obviously, offering loans at very nominal rates of interest and with minimum formalities by the bank, so it will boost up the demand in the market. Economic and fiscal policies, मॉनेटरी पॉलिसी तो आप बहुत अच्छी तरह से समझते हैं, क्या जो बैंक डिसाइड कर रही थी, जो सेंट्रल बैंक डिसाइड कर रही थी. फिस्कल पॉलिसी क्या होता है? फिस्कल पॉलिसी मीन्स द पॉलिसीज ऑफ द गवर्नमेंट रिलेटेड टू टैक्सेस. सो the economic environment includes monetary policy as well as the fiscal policy. Reduction in tax rates अगर कम होंगी तो demand obviously बढ़ेगा. So investment by NRIs and foreign investors or foreign direct investment, and permission to private sector for entering into fiscal sector. So ये जो points हैं इनको आपको बहुत अच्छे से ध्यान में रखना है, माइंड में सेट करना है. और एक ब्रॉड कैटेगरी अगर मैं आपको बताऊं तो इकोनॉमिक एनवायरनमेंट के लिए आपको अपने माइंड में दो टर्म्स रखने हैं. मॉनेटरी पॉलिसी विच इज़ डिसाइडेड बाय द सेंट्रल बैंक और द central bank of the country, that is Reserve Bank of India, and the fiscal policy, that is the taxation policy decided by the government of the country. So these are the two major categories under which the economic environment falls. That's all for this topic today. Next, social environment will discuss by tomorrow in the next video. Till then, you can just revise the text whatever have been taught, and do not forget to subscribe the channel. Thank you.